How to keep a blue crab as a pet. Keeping a blue crab is easy. It's a little bit of work, but it can be done. So for aquarium size, you want to keep them in a 40-gallon tank minimum. Bigger is better if you can afford it, but 40 gallons is fine. Anything less is too small and they need space to move around. Once you've got your tank, get you some sand. You can choose any color you want, but personally, I think white or black looks best in aquariums. Also, if you can find one, get a big rock. Mine like to climb the one that I got. Blue crabs need to be kept in temperature ranges between 75 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit, so you will need a heater to keep the temperature in the tank stable. Next, you are going to need a filter to keep the water clean. A hang on the back will work just fine. For tanks 55 and above, I recommend a canister filter. Blue crabs can technically survive in freshwater, but they do best in salt water. So go ahead and grab you some marine salt. Aquarium salt is not the same as marine salt, so make sure you don't get the two mixed up. You will also need a tool that measures salt and water called a refractometer. This is what they look like, and you will need to get it calibrated. I just had the employees at the fish store calibrate mine for me. Then the last thing you're going to need is a dechlorinator. Prime is one of the best ones out there. Once you've got everything, choose a spot in your house that has a space for your tank. I recommend a spot away from windows to avoid algae blooms from too much sunlight. After you've done that, it's time to set up the tank. Get your sand and rinse it in a bucket. Once you've done that, go ahead and pour it into your tank and even it out. Then add your rock if you decided to get one. Next, get some 5-gallon buckets. I got my buckets from Home Depot. You can get them at any hardware store. Fill them up with tap water, then add a few drops of prime in each bucket to get rid of the chlorine. Dosage varies, so just follow the directions on the back of the prime bottle. Now it's time to mix your marine salt into your water. This might be nerve-wracking at first, but it gets easy after you do it the first time. Get your marine salt and get a measuring cup and follow the directions on the back of the bag and add the recommended amount into each bucket. Get a whisk and then mix the salt into the water. Once you've done this, add your water into the tank and grab your refractometer. Take a few drops of your tank water and place it on the blue lens. Close the lid and aim it towards a light source. If the salinity level lines up to 1.021, then you are good to go. Okay, so the hard part is done now. Now you'll need to wait 3 weeks for your tank to cycle. Basically, this means you need to wait for the beneficial bacteria to build up so the water is safe for your crab. I made a whole video on cycling your tank. You can go ahead and check it out in the description. After 3 weeks, you can finally pick out your blue crab. Find a fish market in your area that sells live blue crabs and pick out the healthiest one. Usually the one that has all its limbs and moving is your best choice. Once you've picked out your crab, take it home and acclimate it if you need to. Some fish markets will keep their crabs in freshwater and some will keep it in salt water. If the fish market in your area keeps their crab in freshwater, you will have to acclimate the crab once you get home to your saltwater aquarium. You can usually do this with a plastic bin and an airline tube. I made a whole video on acclimation. I'll leave it down in the description. You can go ahead and check it out later if you need to. If you don't need to acclimate it, you can go ahead and put it into your tank. As far as what to feed your crab, they will pretty much eat anything, but frozen foods such as shrimp and krill are great. They also love night crawlers. Hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer. Thanks for watching.